Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nakiato here, and welcome to episode 31 of the Heroes Hideout gaming podcast, where we talk about video games and all of that jazz. This week I'm joined by Phyrus, Norgoz, KageUta, and Damien. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, you fine folks.
Hey folks, I'm Phyrus. I am a YouTuber, podcaster, obviously podcaster, and Twitch streamer. On top of being a student and a father and everything else that's encompassed in my horribly busy life. This week recently, I've been getting back into streaming. Actually, back into Twitch streaming primarily, and I've been working on. I did the first chapter of King's Quest that was free on PS Plus this month.
Oh man, PS4.
No.
I highly recommend you go and try it. It's made by Sierra, which made the original blank Quest games, Police Quest, Space Quest, King's Quest, back in the 80s. It's very well updated to now standards. They're going to release it episodically, like the Telltale games. And the graphic quality, I think it's going to be in one of the clips here on the show. It looks a lot like old Dragon's Quest. If you remember that old television show in the arcade game, it appears a lot like that. The flowing, cel-shaded, kind of cartoony, almost Dragon Quest, or what was the other game? The Square game. Was it Dragon Tail? Dragon Heroes. Anyway, it was great. I highly recommend playing through at least the first episode. I think the second episode's coming like on the 20th of this month. But yeah, I played through that, and I'm back into Witcher 3 again. Still plowing through that game and still enjoying it.
I just had The Witcher 3 stolen as well.
Does Witcher 3 does Witcher 3 give you like a percentage of like how far you are along in the main storyline, or
no?
Is there any way to gauge?
It just shows you how many hours you've lost to it.
How many hours of your life are gone?
Mine, I think, is up to close to 6 days, so I'm beyond the hours.
All right.
Metric.
Cool.
But I'm still loving it. It's still a lot of fun. I've played through possibly about the first third of it before and then stopped playing it, so I'm starting at the beginning again and playing through it, and I'm making opposite decisions of what I did the first time, and it's really neat to see how the game plays out differently when you make different decisions within a game. A lot of action adventure games, they're mostly on rails, like Assassin's Creed. You either do this quest and win it or fail it. Witcher gives you options which way you want to go, and the game plays out differently as you go in different directions. So I'm getting a second life playing through this game, making the opposite decisions I did the first time. And they're not really fail states, but they definitely affect the way that you events unfold ahead of you.
So which way is more fun right now? The first way you did it, or the opposite of what Phyrus would usually do?
I wouldn't say one's more fun than the other. I'm enjoying them both. They're both very well written. A lot of those quests are really well written. Like, for example, I just did, spoiler alert if you're still playing Witcher or plan on it, there's a quest line called the Isle of Fyke. It's out in the middle of Velen, and there's a laboratory for some crazy-ass mage. So there's a whole storyline as you go in there, because a friendly witch that you meet, who's naked a lot of the time, which is a bonus.
Yes.
Sends you there to investigate what happened there, because there's like rats everywhere. So you use this lantern to see the ghosts of people that departed within the tower, and it tells a story as you find different corpses. And it's a really interesting storyline how it's written. Very heartfelt and very sad at the same time. But even the opposite decision that I made this time played out differently, and I was like, wow, that was not what I expected. That's great. That's awesome. But anyway,
Phyrus,
yeah. Yes.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second. Can you pull the mic slightly away from your mouth?
Or ass.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that sounds good. It's just when you were talking, it was going a lot.
Is this
Yes.
Darth Vader?
If you're watching me live, it may not look different because I still have a red background, but I'm actually downstairs because my parents are staying with us for the next couple days. And last time my parents were with us and I streamed from upstairs, my mother was snoring right behind me.
That shit was so funny though, man.
It was
It was pretty great.
So I brought the laptop downstairs and I got the headset. So hopefully my father's snoring in the other room. You don't pick up very well on that. But anyway, yeah, so happy 7th night of Hanukkah, and tomorrow's the last night of that, and then we wait till Christmas.
Man,
So happy
Present City
Hanukkah
for you.
and yay. But that's what I'm up to, and glad to be here.
Are you?
I is.
Hello, everybody.
Sponsored pitch by.
You son of a bitch. And for those of you who don't know, this shirt right here, for those of you watching on the YouTubes and anything that has the actual video with it, this shirt is from Davillion, yes. Trend Worlds didn't send me this shirt, as well as this flask here that is very, very beautiful. It doesn't feel cheap at all. And you
this
know what?
week's episode is brought
They
to you
have
by
to-
Tryon.
Not really, but it actually made me a little horny.
Davillion should make those shirts for women.
Were you
with it
seriously
down
just
lower.
Were you fucking holding those and waiting to make that joke this whole
Yes,
time?
The whole fucking time.
This whole
yeah.
time.
God
this whole
damn
time.
it, dude. You
We all
bastard.
know that. We all know that Norgoz only has the highest quality
And
of
these,
jokes.
just let me clear up these horns turn me on.
And well, I guess the show's over, everybody. We can leave
Yeah,
now.
I'm
Thank you
about
for
ready
joining
to
the Heroes
disconnect.
Hideout
Yeah.
Gaming Podcast.
Just
Goodbye.
gets If you ever wondered why they don't tweet me that often, it's probably because I'm too damn dirty for them.
Man,
Anyway,
I see Norgoz's
Or your
tweets and I'm
jokes are
like, I
just-
could retweet that, or I could ignore it like a normal person should.
yeah.
I'm just gonna ignore
Hey
it.
guys, assuming that's what you've been doing this week, can you at least explain to me what Davillion is?
I'm going
other
to,
than
yes.
what I think it is, because
Yes.
I'll just shut up.
Isn't that that game that's
Absolutely.
like Diablo?
I swear to God, I know, Naki, I know where you live, sir.
Do
You're
you?
only a couple hours or so away. You
Hey
know,
man, I don't
maybe
live at
longer
the
if
old
I have to
house
look for your
anymore.
house.
I live in a real house now.
Well, you know
Bring
what? It's easier to find then because it's bigger. Okay. Anyway, all right, guys. I am the Norgoz.
So my wife
I am a
said.
Twitch streamer, entertainer, as well as we're just still delving more into YouTubes. And my problem with the YouTube's not getting stuff out is like the post production and the editing. So I'm working on that. But
Or you could be
really,
like me and a lazy bitch and then just stream, but then like every hour cut it off and be like, okay, thank you for joining, and then do another intro
Shit.
and then continue process like that. Do that
I
for.
suppose I could do something like that.
I still
gonna
get
start
like
taking
1,000
notes.
views a video when I do that, so I mean, I would.
He's so modest. He's so modest about it, guys. But this week
You're
I have been
welcome.
playing Davillion for the most part. And the reason that that I'm wearing the shirt and that I'm promoting them is because I honestly believe in this game, and I think they don't hide behind paywalls. I had the
Didn't
opportunity.
you say the
to-
same thing about fucking
I swear to God,
Arcade when that was coming out?
Arcade. Arcade. We can get into, but you're delving away
this the
from
same-
topic.
Is this the same developer?
It's
Yes.
the same producer.
Yes.
Same producer.
Okay.
Or not producer, publisher. Same
Oh,
same
no.
publisher.
Oh no!
Fuck's sake, can I just play one thing at a time? God, Phyrus.
We're not getting paid,
we
so
were
we can
doing really
derail
well.
it as much as we want.
Phyrus was on a good. Phyrus like went through his whole spiel. We were doing so good.
Yeah, but you're
and
Norgoz.
then I swear to God,
You
What's
started
the
it
name
off
again?
bad because you started it off with shitty jokes, and
Ugh.
now you were just asking for it. So
This is karma. This is karma
Asking.
repayment.
Exactly.
I am the ass king. Sure, whatever. Let's just
All right,
take a
guys,
step
go.
back. I will go into the arcade
guys.
thing for a minute. Here's the thing. Davillion is an action RPG. Yes, it is published by Trend Worlds. It has some developers that were on board with Lineage 1, as well as some other various titles. And that's the only one I remember offhand. That's why I'm not going into the details. So basically what it is yes, it has been compared to Diablo. It's been compared to Path of Exile, and it's been compared to Torchlight.
This is what separates it, is that all of the different ways to build your character. Okay, let's start with the gear. The gear that drops, depending on what level of rarity, will have stats that are random. You will also have a focus effect that can be random. So it'll actually can potentially improve a specific ability. You have 3 different skill trees that you can go into. Okay, you got 3 different. Damien, what the fuck is that weird ass smirk for? Seriously,
All the things you've listed so far are things that Diablo 2 does, and so
Hang on,
in
I'm
our
not
in
done
our
yet.
Heroes
I'm not
Hideout
done
chat,
yet.
he's
And
like,
Torchlight.
it's not like Diablo because it
I'm
has
not done
these
yet.
things, and I'm like Diablo.
But does
like
it have a pet that
Diablo.
you can send back to the store with your loot?
I'm not done yet. Yes,
I got really close to my mic for that.
Like
I'm
like
sorry.
Torchlight?
I swear to God, just let me.
I was gonna
finish.
say
For fuck's sake. Yes, they have a corgi that will sell your loot from anywhere in the world. Okay, so they have open world. Yes, like the dog. They have open world guild PvP where guilds capture areas. I don't know what the benefit to having these areas are yet. I don't know that, but I know that when you're going to these areas, they have like solo mobs, but then they actually have the elite mobs, which are in these open PvP areas. So you have like repeatable quests you can do there, and you can get coins and stuff, redeem it for some loots. The PvP is set up to where you have multiple capture points. You get points for capturing points, holding points, and getting kills. Boss mob spawn throughout the PvP experiences in the arenas where you can get, I think it's like 50 or 100 points or something for killing those. And you can go into regular PvP, or you can go into Devilian PvP, where you're as your devil, so the devil side of you. So you have different attacks, powered up spells and stuff, which is kind of cool. Now, with that in mind, the ways that you can build your character more, they do have a system that's similar to the Paragon system in Diablo 3, where after your max level, you can still increase your base stats, you can still improve your skills, you can improve the experience that's gained, you can improve the gold that's gained, you can improve your Devilian's skills as well. Those are all called the proficiency table. Their titles actually give individual stats. Like every title will give at least one individual stat, so it's not overpowered. But you don't have to equip the title, like Punisher Norgoz. You don't have to equip that title in order to get the stat from it. Once you get it, it's permanent. And they have a listing of 121 titles right now that you can get, because in the window it shows you have like 5 out of 121. So if you like to collect and get those achievements, you get an achievement, you get a title for said achievement, then bada bing, bada boom, you actually get a stat for it. So you don't just get some blatant weird ass achievement that says, "Oh, look, you killed 5 mobs in a matter of 10 seconds" or something weird like that, like that Leroy Jenkins bullshit from World of Warcraft. You have what's called
you trash
the
this other
talismans.
game to make my game sound better.
So it has a talisman system. The talisman system is a separate way to build your character where you have 2 tabs. You can have a set bonus with these talismans, and you can get 1 every 10 levels. So you can equip these, and you can build these, and you can level those up. They can have various stats on them, defense, offense, magic defense, so on and so forth. Any stat in the game, they probably got a card for it. You can refine your gear so that if you don't like a stat on it, you can re-roll the stats. If you get the stats that you don't like, you just hit cancel. And you know what? I don't want to actually go through with that. Unlike Diablo 3, where you're set to do that every time.
Hey Norgoz, are you gonna explain like
yet.
the entire game? How like I'm just wondering, should I like be making food for myself tomorrow? Like,
You realize the more you interrupt me,
That's a
the
legit
longer it's going to
question.
take, right?
I'm just wondering.
Don't worry,
I
I'll
mean,
edit half of this out anyway. So
remember
Swear to
when
God.
Nakiato went on his Metal Gear rant? That's about what this
Hey-
feels
hey,
like.
I'm
man.
not going any
Hey,
longer than
so-
Phyrus. You got fuckers interrupted me.
So my Metal Gear rant was like half that.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
No,
It
it
was,
was
like it was 8 minutes. I counted.
It was 8 minutes.
I counted.
What are
Are
we
you
up
good?
to right now?
I just was
One more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'll leave it alone.
I've been playing
think
Call of Champions
They
the
were just
entire time that you've
expecting
been talking.
more of
so-
a
Fuck
summary.
you. Is that it's fun. It's interesting. You can respect your character for different skills and stats and stuff. That's it. I'm done. Just whatever.
Okay.
Just move on because
No,
you
no,
guys
I'm
don't
not-
give a
I'm not-
shit.
Find
I'm
out
not
what
done.
it means to
If you have
I'm not
interesting,
done.
if you guys are interested, that those of you watching or listening, if you have questions or concerns, hit me
Okay,
up on
guys.
Twitter or something, and I'll be happy to answer.
If you have
Guys.
questions or concerns, go to twitch.tv/NORG0Z.
So, guys,
Hey,
in this game,
guys.
is there like a race of little children girls with short
There
skirts? by
are
any chance?
4 different classes. That's the first thing I should have went over. There's 4 classes.
Why,
What-
Phyrus?
wait,
Why would you do
sorry.
this?
No, I actually feel that that's actually an important aspect to point out
I feel like he needs
versus
to explain
just telling
this,
us
yeah.
about a Paragon system or the leveling system.
What's up with the little girls, guys?
that? Some people like the lollies. That's all.
Okay,
Oh.
what are the other 3, or is that the only one that matters?
No, there's the evoker is pretty much the main class of the game. They're the wizard. That's a female character. You've got your 2 males, which are the berserker, which is sort of like a gladiator from Lineage 2. I always mix the 2 up. He's like the main tank of the game, sort of. Then you've got the shadow hunter. It's more of a rogue / shadow knight kind of a mix. Then you've got your little lolly cannoneer, and she's also a range damage dealer. But the evoker
So
is
you
pretty much
have
own
to be
PvP.
a lolly if you're the ranged
So
character?
your race is based on your class?
Your race and your sex, your gender.
Okay,
that.
so it's like Diablo.
No.
Not exactly.
No, not that one.
Diablo.
Not that one. Well, Diablo 2 maybe.
Yeah, and Diablo
Diablo-
1.
Yeah, Diablo 2. Diablo 1 was pretty much all males, wasn't it?
Not the rogue was
No,
a female.
the rogue's female, yeah.
Anyways, okay, so my last question regarding Pavilion. What's the best feature of the game? Like, what makes it actually stand out, I guess, to
What
you?
makes it stand out?
Yeah, what makes it stand out to you amongst all these other
What-
games that
You
are
named a
similar?
lot of
shirt
things
and
like
flask
how
that
it's
came with
like
it?
these other games, but
Like
What
what
is
really
it?
sold you on this game?
I think that, well, I like that that you can pretty much do anything in the game without having to be. They're not hiding behind paywalls. Everything that you want to get in the game that's like you could be purchasing from the cash app, like extra inventory and stuff, you can get from just playing. It's all free to play. You have lots of daily things. There's tons of shit to do that I didn't even mention. There's tons and tons and tons of daily quests. You're encouraged to play with other people and invite them to your friend list, because once you become a friend with somebody, you get what's called friend affinity. And you can send them a friend gift every day. And that friend gift gets better as you increase your affinity with them. When you send them a gift, your affinity increases a lot more. When you group with them and you kill shit with them, their affinity increases. When you just send them messages back and forth. So they're encouraging the whole cyber aspect. Let me just cyber with you for like 9 hours, and then our affinity is going to be amazing.
See
Let's
you
just
playing
send
this
gifts
tiny little girl. Let's do it.
I have not
Yes.
heard the word cyber since like the 90s.
You're
Cyber
welcome.
Yeah.
Monday.
You're
Isn't
welcome.
it? I believe
Does
the new
this game
term
connect
is
to your
erotic
Facebook account?
roleplay.
Yeah, the new,
I think
the new
that there
term
is
is
an option
ERP,
to do
guys.
that.
Well, that fucking explains why Norgoz loves this game so much.
Yep.
We figured it
Okay.
out. Moving on.
Moving on.
I think it's
Thank
my turn
God.
now.
I think
I
so.
kind of lost the track of the order.
Devilalian.
What? What?
Devilalian.
Yes, correct. You are next.
Anyways, I'm Cage. I've been playing a lot of Payday lately, and because they have the new Christmas map, and they also released a new, what is it? They just or what's the word when they work with another game company? Anyways, they partnered up with another game company, and it's Point Break. So they have tuna heists for that. So those are pretty sweet. And I'm also learning what it's like to become an expert. What's the word? I can't do words, guys. I'm
How
lost.
about,
Please
how about
help
just
me.
expert?
Help me.
I mean, that
No.
works.
Breathe.
No.
Breathe.
Yeah, let me breathe. Anyways, my office got lit on fire this week.
Breathe.
So I'm learning what it's like to recover from your place of work being lit on fire and writing off damages. So that's pretty sweet.
Wish my place would be lit on fire.
Man, no, seriously, like you get all the jokes on Facebook about like people coming into work and it's like that face you get when you drive into work Monday morning and your office is still there. And I got there. I actually lived that. That was me. It was like, huh. But I give that arsonist a 2 out of 10 because they only managed to take out 2 individual offices versus the whole building. So whoever you are, suck a dick. 'Cause
That bastard.
You're terrible. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really played much more than Payday. Oh, I got back into Counter-Strike, kind of just for funsies, and it hasn't changed at all. So that's it. That's me. That's my short and concise, not 20-minute intro.
Good man. I fucking love you
Hooray.
for it not being a long
you can
20-minute
suck a fat
intro.
one.
Oh,
I
Wow.
know, so hostile.
okay then. Well,
My
hey
God.
everybody. I'm Damien, and gamer, musician, and a podcast guy. I guess we're including that now because I've been on like freaking 20 some odd episodes. I guess I can put that as
Hey,
my.
man.
More than that, dude. You've been on quite a bit.
I've been all. Oh yeah, not counting Sin Imprint. I wasn't
Mhm.
thinking about that. Yeah. Anyway, I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege. Really liking that. Having lots of fun. It's got a lot of glitches still, and like microphone shit still kind of sucks. Like I have to jump through
What?
fucking hoops to get my microphone to work in the game. It's weird. And I'm also playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm gearing my character up to do endgame content, and I finally got into an endgame static, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be really cool. And I'm still working on music that I'm writing. So Yay.
Music
I also bought a bunch of Undertale stuff, like this shirt I'm wearing, which I'll show you
Oh.
after I'm done talking, and it's really cool.
He can't talk
Um,
and stand up at the same time, folks.
I could, but I'm not going
yeah,
to.
why don't we
Um,
just install a pole in your room and you can dance for us while we're talking
I
about
could,
stuff?
if that's
Careful,
what you
he
want.
might actually do it.
That
I would
be
totally
awesome.
do it, just right here.
Oh man,
Let
could
me
you
know.
imagine that? Him all like all
Yes, I
all
can.
decked out in his girl stuff.
Decked out. Yeah, I don't
can.
think I'd be comfortable doing that because but maybe
It would be
if you
great.
gave me money,
You should.
I'll take money.
I will.
Drink a
probably
little
Guys,
bit.
we
practicing.
already
We'll
we
throw
already
virtual
established-
dollars at you.
Virtual dollars, great. Rainbow Six is really cool. Classes and stuff are cool. We're gonna talk about Overwatch later, and I'm gonna make a point about how
Oh my god.
Rainbow Six I wish was more like Overwatch in the way that they're going to do shit. So yeah, because there's already there was a day one season pass for Rainbow Six, which pissed me off. Yeah.
There's always
No,
a
the
day
gold
one season
edition?
pass. How did that surprise you?
No, it didn't
That-
surprise me. It's just shitty.
That was gold edition, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Rainbow
Gold
Six
Edition,
Gold?
but they also sold it separately as a season pass.
Right. That
Golden
that part
edition.
doesn't honestly surprise me anymore. Like that doesn't kill me as much as day one DLC, I guess. They're just going, hey, there are going to be updates. We are going to charge you for them, but you can have it all for this price versus paying $1,000 for each
Yeah, but-
transaction later.
But it's like there's
Here's
gonna
my
be
half-finished game.
there's gonna be 8 new characters that they're gonna roll out and new maps, and they already are working on these maps and stuff, and they're gonna charge you $30 for an expansion that's not done yet. It's not out or whatever. You pay for it ahead of time. I hate season passes. Is what I'm getting at.
Season
really
passes
don't
are
like
pretty
that.
fucking stupid.
I just do it like fucking Overwatch. I'm paying for your damn game full price, and it's a full price game, and there's not that many maps just like Overwatch, and there's a lot of heroes to choose from like Overwatch, but they're doing it completely different, and I get it because Ubisoft and Blizzard are two way different companies with two way different profit margins and models to work with, but still shitty.
Well, kinda,
We can get into
sorta.
it later.
I mean, you still have to think that Blizzard is owned by Activision now too. So even though they hold their independent title, they still have to adhere to everything that, well, fucking Activision wants from them, basically. So
Sure. Anyway, that's my intro. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I don't know.
all right, and I guess it's my turn. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nakiato. Gamer. I don't know.
Homeowner.
Home
He doesn't
owner.
know anymore.
Yeah.
My
Home.
life-
Homeowners. Okay, so let's just fucking go into this. My week has been fucking shitty. It was supposed to be great. Me and my wife went out for our anniversary, our marriage anniversary, the other night.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and then as
Congrats,
soon as we
man.
get back, we found out that somebody robbed our fucking house. So much
Congrats, man.
fun. Hooray!
That's fucked up.
I had my PlayStation stolen, or my PS4 stolen. I had fucking 7 or so games stolen. All games that I paid like full price for. Well, except for Evolve. That was $15, but you know, still.
I hated that game anyway.
Somebody
yeah, it
stole
was a
that?
pretty shitty
No, I'm
game.
joking.
Yeah.
That's like
I
somebody
feel
stealing.
bad for him. I feel a
That's
little bit
not
better
them.
that the game was stolen now. I'm just like, oh, I don't have that fucking dirty ass game on me anymore. All right. I like this.
Wow.
But I also don't have The
Steal
Witcher
some
3. I
Morgan's
don't have
stash.
fucking any of the games that I had. I also don't have my PSN games anymore because, well, I don't have a PS4, so I can't play any of those.
Aren't they linked to your account? Though,
Yeah,
so you
yeah, I
should
can
be
play
able
them
to
as soon
recover
as I
those?
get a new PS4, but it's all about actually getting a new PS4 is the fucking thing. So
Right.
I can't play. I can't finish fucking Metal Gear Solid 5. I can't fucking continue to play Rocket League because that game is great. So now I have to buy it on fucking Steam if I want to play it. Yeah, any of the
good
other
news
games that I
is-
was playing. I was fucking halfway through The Walking Dead season 2. Can't finish that. Yeah, no, it was pretty shitty. And then we had jewelry stolen. She had probably about $300 worth of jewelry stolen. Had a phone stolen, and I had
Well, all those
three
nudes that I sent you,
I had
dude, that's fucked up.
3 fucking PS4 controllers stolen. He stole all of my fucking PS4 controllers. But he went into the same room that the PS3 was, and he was like, "Oh, fuck the PS3, man." And it was nope. Don't need that. Going with PS4. It's like, okay. He dicked around with all of my audio stuff too, my audio video stuff
You had
for
to
this.
test it out first.
And he was just like, nah, you know, this is a fucking big computer. I don't want to take that. So I'm thinking he might have been on foot if he didn't grab anything bigger like that. Because I don't know, if I broke into a house and I saw a fucking computer like that, I'd be like, I'm gonna go for that because that looks expensive. But no, he didn't. Thankfully, he didn't go for that because otherwise I'd be on a laptop right now. That'd be fun. But yeah. So overall, shitty, super shitty. And because our deductible is $1,000, and I don't know if everything adds up to 1,000, and or I don't know if I have receipts for everything to prove that everything adds up to 1,000. We might not be getting reimbursed for it, even though I have fucking homeowners insurance. So there's that. It's fucking great.
Woo, woo.
That has
it's
been my
just-
week.
It's just, it's just about to be it's toward the end of the year, so that deductible's going to renew again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. In fact, I just fucking came from the store and bought myself $300 worth of video equipment $400 worth of fucking video equipment so that I could, so that I will now have a home fucking security system. I have home security, technically, but this is all just video, so if somebody breaks in, I will have fucking recording of them.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that long
Ooh.
ago.
Oh, and I got a shield
Did I
tablet.
talk about it on here? Where there was a guy going around looking in windows in my neighborhood playing children's music?
Oh yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
I
creepy.
read about
That's
that.
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, he stole a bunch of stuff from a lot of people in my neighborhood,
I'm
and
gonna say children.
yeah, and
Didn't they catch
part of
him
that
in
was part of that
Agitated,
was
tied
my
wife.
my fiance had just gotten money from a family member, and normally she, we don't leave money in our vehicles or anything like that. But we had just bought a bunch of groceries, and we just forgot about it in the car after taking all the groceries in. When we shut the car door, it got stuck on the seat buckle, so it didn't lock, and they got into her car and stole $500 from her. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the person? Or actually, fuck it, I'll just say it. Speaking of somebody peering through windows, one of the reasons why we moved out of our old house that we had was there was back when not the previous house that I was in, but the one before that. There was a guy that was looking through one of our windows back when my first son was born. He was only a couple months old. So he's looking through the window into our living room, and when we're leaving, we see him looking through our windows. So we stop and we just kind of like stare at him, and he notices that we're staring at him. So he kind of just like starts to kick the rocks by his feet and just like backing up and just walks away. And the next day, I go outside, out to my car, and where he was standing, exactly where he was standing the day before, was one of our cats, dead with a broken neck.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like a pile of jizz or something, but no, that's much worse.
Nope. Fucking broke his neck. That cat was not there the day when we were looking at him, so he came back and broke one of our fucking cat's necks. Yeah.
Well, that's what you get for fucking looking at him, man.
I
Don't
know,
look at
right?
him.
Apparently, just don't look at fucking creepers, man. Don't look at them.
Just look at
Ignore 'em.
anybody.
You fucking
Just keep your head down, go to work, come home.
exactly.
Just-
You start
Yeah,
hearing
I mean, that's what I do.
you just fucking turn around and run. You know.
Yeah, I mean, every day I walk past
that was a
the
Minecraft reference, if
faceless
you didn't
man
know.
that stands outside my
I
house,
played Minecraft
and I
and
make
didn't
sure I don't
understand
make
that.
eye contact with the weird, disfigured being that's underneath the hood, because I know if I do, the next day he won't be standing in front of my house. He'll be in my kitchen, and then I have to dodge him like this. And, you know, you just gotta look away from these mysterious beings and let them do their thing.
He's
And
one of the hooded figures
this-
from the dog park.
Yeah, don't look at the dog park.
This is the exact reason that we need more gun control.
Yeah,
Are you trying to bring
I
politics into our
agree.
gaming podcast?
we need
This
more
gaming news is
gun
great.
control because
Political
people with
jokes.
guns think that they can look at hooded figures, and they can't. A gun doesn't make it so you can look at a hooded figure, guys.
Exactly.
They'll still kill you.
No, yeah,
Your
gun,
face will melt.
gun control.
Stay away from the dog park.
How many fucking mass shootings have we had this year?
We're not
Number
talking
of
politics.
days in the
I,
week.
Too many.
I intentionally
Sure.
derailed it
I'm-
from
Yeah,
the
I know you
politics,
did.
and you just keep going back to it
I think we're up to 200 this year.
like a stupid fuck with
Something
a gun
like that?
looking at the hooded
No.
figure.
Okay,
to
on to
go.
the first topic.
All right.
Are we like
Clouds
half an
will
hour
take
in?
away
We just
all
did
the
Yeah,
like
we've
an
literally been
introduction?
sitting here for 35 minutes.
We have.
And
We have.
We're not even into the news yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take
well,
a
All
piss.
hail the globe.
No, you can't. You sit there and drink out of your shitty boot glass, and you talk about the gaming news.
Yeah, Norgoz. Fuck you.
All right.
You specifically.
All right. So let's get into the news. I am going to kick the news off to Phyrus. Phyrus will start to read off the news, and then we will discuss them. So let's go ahead and do this. Are you ready, Phyrus?
I am ready as I'm going to be.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this.
We're going to start off with a couple Space Sim game news updates. As you know, the two major Space Sims are Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. Elite Dangerous is a completed game at this point, and on the 15th, they're releasing a new update. It's called Horizons. Should be releasing on the 15th. If you are a backer of the original Kickstarter, you will get this for free. If you already have the base game, Elite Dangerous, it's going to cost you $45 to get this update. And if you don't have anything at all and you want to buy into this, it'll cost you $60 to get the base game plus this update. So $45 for basically DLC is kind of steep in my book. But this update is going to allow you to go down to the planet surface. It's going to give you access to EVA, so extra vehicular movement. There's a couple other things. When you're on the surface of the planet, you can mount, drive around in a buggy, kind of like a lunar rover kind of thing with guns.
The trailer for that actually looked really cool, being able to drive around.
Like Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, kind of like that. The rover in Mass Effect is pretty bulky compared to these things. These are like smaller scooters, almost like a faster version of the one in Prometheus, if you remember that one.
Yes.
But I mean, this game is beautiful. It's always been beautiful. I think the trailer that they're showing for this update looks great. So what do you guys think?
I've never played the game, but it looks like the poor man's Eve Online. But it looks like the what's the word, guys? What's the word? It basically.
Define
I'm
it.
done. I
Give us a
quit.
definition, for fuck's sake, man.
No, I
We
want you to
can't
read
your
my mind. I know,
God. Devilian.
but at least yes, Devilian. At
Yeah,
least
it looks just like Devilian.
it's this is the kind of space sim game that I would actually buy. And I'm not waiting for Star Citizen to come out for how long has it been now since it was
Several years.
supposed to launch?
Years.
Several years.
It's never
Yeah.
coming out. That's
It's
okay.
not ever going to.
It's
No,
never
it just
coming
came into
out.
Alpha 2.0. Isn't that one of our freaking notes here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we'll talk.
that's
We'll talk
next
about
story.
that
We'll talk
next.
about it later.
Alpha is not released. So,
I don't care. It's Alpha 2.0. It's so much better than 1.0.
But did
somebody
they
else
did they show
remember
it?
when Alpha
mean, can you
actually
only
meant
drive
that the game
buggies
was
around on
like
the
in
surface?
super early development?
Yes,
I
I
mean,
remember that. You
I
remember when
remember
betas
those
were
days.
actually betas and not open tests?
I
For the
remember
lo-
that
for the
too.
large-
Charge you for access for alphas? Yeah, I remember that time
What
too.
the hell is that
Right?
shit? Charging people access for alphas? What the fuck?
Well, we're now in a day and
It's
age
free-
where people charge you for games before they're even like they even have a test area.
Can you come
Speaking-
submit bug reports? But wait. Can you
Here we
pay us
go.
money
Here it
to
comes.
come and submit bug reports?
Can you pay us for you to test our games, please?
But no,
Speaking of selling something that's not released yet, this is slightly off track, but Star Wars, the new movie coming out, just broke a record for $50 million of sales for a movie that hasn't been released yet.
Does it surprise you though?
50 fucking million in sales a week before it's even released anywhere.
Yeah, but if you look at Star Wars Legacy though, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
$50 million. No one's ever. Two people have seen it. Two people have seen it. One of them's dead. So
One
Yes,
of them's George
one of it is.
Lucas. One of them is George Lucas, and he liked it.
that doesn't
Anyway.
mean much, does it?
So.
No,
He
that doesn't
reportedly
really mean
liked
much.
it. That actually wasn't a quote from him. It was a quote from like a producer, somebody above him.
I heard this guy named Norgoz quote somebody else and tell me that this movie was
Quote
amazing.
somebody else, supposedly quoting somebody else.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I've
I'm
seen
just trying
my
to be
friend.
accurate. Fuck you.
I'm
My
gonna
friend
quote
has
you on this,
played
Norgoz.
Elite Dangerous, and I've seen him play it, and it's a very, very
sorry.
pretty game. And he's like
looks
super
great.
psyched about it. Yeah, just from what I've seen, it looks amazing. Like if you go through, like Saturn's rings and stuff like that, or rings around a planet, it'll be just millions of meteors just floating around there, and just the resolution of like everything is high res. It's a high res
Super
game.
high.
Everything looks really pretty, and then you have all these tiny details
Physics.
like the meteors around it and stuff that you actually can fly through, and he says you can, I think, mine some of them, and supposedly it's coming out for PS4 as well, so that's really cool.
Ooh, I'm
And-
so fucking excited.
It's a
You
fresh
suck a
wound.
dick. What the fuck is that? Oh, because yours was stolen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now he hates everything PS4 related. Somebody buy this guy a
I
Wii U.
want Paragon so
And then
bad.
I
Steal.
want a Wii U for Xenoblade Chronicles.
But hey,
We
with
completely
this
deviated
compared
from the topic.
to Star Citizen, at least this is out, and compared to Eve, it looks like a game I would play.
Yes, thank you. That's pretty much what I was trying to say, but instead I couldn't think of what the word was.
A
Yeah,
game
it's-
I could play. It
it's-
Eve
seems
Yeah.
Online is
Seems
huge, though.
approachable.
I mean,
It looks playable. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a pay to play though. It's a subscription based. I'm too
That's
poor for
true.
that.
That's that's a really good point to bring up. But before the show, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, I didn't realize that this was a buy to play game. Elite Dangerous is buy to play, just like Guild Wars was before it went free to play. You buy the game, you play it for free. You don't have a subscription.
you still
base
have
on
to
it.
buy Heart of Thorns if you want to play the
Yeah,
expansion.
good point. Yeah, still have to buy the expansion, or probably they'll keep that, future expansions, but you don't have to buy the base game anymore. So that brings up a question. What does the base game, like I have codes for original games for Guild Wars 2. What do those people get?
More bag space,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and more character slots.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. They're still worth something then. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Elite Dangerous
Not
looks
really.
awesome. I've seen some good some good footage from it. I've watched some streamers play it live. I've got it's from what I've seen, they've got some good physics along with it, and the only reason I haven't played it myself is because I don't have. I probably could have got it somewhere along the way with all the other bullshit that I bought, but I don't have the controllers for it. Like I don't have the whole the one where it's like a lever where you push forward or backwards, and I don't have a joystick.
Like a thrust thing.
Yeah, I don't have
joystick.
like the thrust one. Then I would probably want to get like the thrust and a joystick at least, and I might even want to get one of those little like hand. Well, maybe not. I'll just use it.
Supposedly, you can micromanage pretty much everything about your ship in that game, and I had to. My friend was looking at buying joysticks or whatever when he was over playing that, and I'm like, hey, I got one that actually has like a thrust. It's tiny. It's like a little thrust lever. And he's like, oh, that's perfect. I'm like, well, I literally bought that joystick for like $10, so I gave it to him.
You always want your thrust to be pretty big.
Pull my trigger.
I mean, you got to have a solid.
It's not
thrust.
about the size of the thrust; it's about the motion in space.
That is what the thrust is your motion. I don't know what you're trying to say here.
You don't listen, okay? I'm gonna give you a quick
Norgoz
lesson.
is trying to give you shitty jokes.
I'm gonna
and
give you a
you're
quick
just shutting
lesson.
him down.
Norgoz
All you gotta do.
sorry for
shitty
that.
joke. I'm Norgoz. Whoop.
You push the thrust really.
Joke.
You push the thrust really hard, and you back off it really quick, and boom, right there. You are going that speed forever in space until you collide with something. You don't hesitate
like actual
thrust for that
physics.
afterwards.
Boom.
Yes, like
Science
actual physics.
By
Boom.
Norgoz.
Yes, I am actually fairly intelligent, despite my assholish and retarded antics.
I agree. Continued thrust is just acceleration in space. Up to this point, as far as I know, the base game has just been space-based. Only until now with this update can you actually traverse the planets, which makes me wonder if they're just trying not only to get ahead of Star Citizen, but to get ahead of No Man's Sky.
Okay, so they don't even have to try to get ahead of Star Citizen. They already are. They have a game.
No,
They
well,
exist.
Yes, but no. I mean, it's
playable.
arguable. It's debatable because Star Citizen is this entire huge
Star Citizen
thing.
is an idea that has yet to come
Yes.
into formation.
It's yet
Once
to
it's-
come into formation because it's so fucking not exclusive, but it's so excessive and large and
Expansive.
specific.
Expansive.
Yeah, it's huge.
So
I
when
think
did
that's
that-
what they tell
graphics,
you.
The large area of like space and stuff. I mean, this is where it goes with like the Alpha 1 versus Alpha 2. The Alpha 2 is a lot bigger than the 1. As an
Okay,
example.
So
You're
when
comparing
did,
the dream to the reality.
When did fucking Peter Molyneux start working for the developers of Star Citizen? Shit, man.
So
I have a
Speaking
dream.
of outrageous fucking promises.
I have a dream that one day on the interwebs that we will have a game that we can play together.
So
we could-
to give you an idea about something that's a little bit comparable, in Starbound there are 12.667 quadrillion planets.
What?
So you're saying it's big, and I hear you, but that's.
What is it? Six
But
point.
can you go
whatever
to each of
billion
those
planets?
planets?
Yes, in Starbound you can go to every single planet. You
Wait
could
a
go
fucking
to any
minute,
of
what
those
is
this?
12.667
Same thing with No Man's
quadrillion
Sky.
planets.
Yeah, No
Yeah.
Man's Sky has like fucking trillions and trillions worth of planets or some shit.
Why do I not know what the fuck No Man's Sky is? I never remember what the hell
What
that
the
is.
fuck, man? You don't know what No Man's Sky is? Like,
I
have
still
you,
don't know.
have
don't
you
remember
watched
what Sky is.
E3 for the past 2 years?
It just
Any-
won the
any
most
Sony
anticipated Game
conference?
Award.
No?
You gotta
Okay.
watch late night
I
television?
haven't either.
Derp.
You're
No
only
Man's
on a
Sky
gaming
is a-
podcast, man. I mean,
It's a
I don't.
it's a space exploration game where you can go out to infinite galaxies, nearly infinite galaxies. Basically, there's worlds out there that are drawn as you explore to them, and they are procedurally generated as you land on them. So
Random
the
number
species that lives
generator.
there, the environment that's there, the terraforming is all randomly generated, but as it's generated, it exists in the network of the galaxy.
yeah.
So if you're the first person that explores this planet, you get to name the planet. You get to name the star system. You get to name the animals that you
Oh shit!
notice for
man.
the first time.
That's
Play
cool.
the same way I play Minecraft. Just go as far out as I can for like 4 hours, and then hit something.
So
Autopilot
basically,
space.
like the easiest way that I can think to explain the tech behind how they do their whole planet system is essentially take what they do with Borderlands gun system, how they have fucking just billions of guns that just get randomized, like this piece gets randomized to this piece, and then this piece gets added on with this skin, and then this multiplier, and so on and so forth. Take that same idea behind those guns, but instead an entire fucking planet that you can explore. So they take all of the base ideas and they just jumble them around on planets when you land.
Which is like the same thing that Starbound does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the fact that you can take ownership and earn points or notoriety for exploring this way is part of the appeal to it, I think. I saw the developer of this on a late night show. I forgot which one it was. And I think it was the guy that used to be on Comedy Central, Colbert.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah, he was on that one.
So he's like, so how are you going to explore all these planets? He goes, oh, I don't expect people to ever explore all the planets out there. So I don't think there's going to be enough people, even if everybody played this game on the planet, to explore all of these planets that are going to be generated out there. I don't think it's going to be possible. There's not enough days in people's lives to explore all these planets. He's like,
oh man, no, it was crazy too, because on that same show they fucking they did a whole zoom out where they took the planet they were on and then zoomed out, and it showed like the system, and then it showed the galaxy, and then he just fucking like zoomed through hundreds and hundreds of fucking galaxies, and then you had to like remember that each one of those galaxies had fucking like thousands of planets in there and shit, and he's zooming past hundreds of these fucking things, and you're just like, oh my god, this game is fucking huge.
It's like the reverse of the last scene of Men in Black. So,
is it supposed to be multiplayer?
Yeah, it's constant online.
Just imagine
environment.
Well,
imagine the servers you'd have to power.
Exactly.
Like,
it is
big.
multiplayer, but there is one thing that you have to remember about fucking about No Man's Sky, and that is it is going to be basically impossible to play with your friends. Because you have to find each other in it, a la like DayZ.
But you'll
I'm
have
sure there's going to
coordinates
be
for
some
sure.
kind of hookup, teleportation, some
you can
kind
totally
of buddy
do it.
system.
If Damien and I can somehow find each other in DayZ, you can find your friends
with
in No Man's
trillions
Sky.
and
Yeah,
trillions
wonder-
of planets.
There's got to be some kind of coordination or
take you
coordinate
hours.
system to get
Yeah,
you
there's
out.
got to be some
Probably.
sort of coordinates
I mean, even in Starbound,
or
in those
directions.
quadrillion planets, the 12 quadrillion planets, each one has coordinates. So
Hey man, I'm just saying what the fucking developer said. So
I wonder if it'll work in a way kind of like Minecraft, where time doesn't pass in places that people aren't in, because otherwise trying to manage all that stuff would be an immense amount of data.
I imagine though that they would just have one giant mega server for all players, though. Just
Right,
because of the
yeah,
fact that the
but,
immense amount of planets.
Uh,
You're gonna
Just
have people
imagine
strewn
time
about
passing
everywhere.
on every planet that everybody's ever been to, and the server trying to handle
Oh
all that.
yeah, no,
in
I
real
don't
time.
disagree with that. I'm just saying it's still going to take an immense amount of data, just considering
Oh yeah,
the fact
definitely.
that people will be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be one mega server. It's obviously going to be multiple hundreds and thousands of mirrored servers that are updated constantly. That's the only way you could do it. The only way that my brain conceives that you could do it. Obviously, I'm not the developer, and they figured this out apparently, so that they are the people that will be the go-to people when it comes to doing this in the future.
Oh shit! I forgot to show my Undertale shirt.
I feel left
Wow.
out because I don't have a video game shirt.
Oh yeah, now take it off.
I don't have any cool video game shirts either. Whoa,
I've got this one.
whoa.
It's
Whoa,
almost
hey
video
now.
game.
Our rating just went way
He
up.
told me to
He did-
take it off.
He didn't show the
We
nipple.
went
It's
from-
okay.
Oh yeah, he didn't show nipple. It's
Don't
still...
show the nipple. Damn it!
I mean, even if you showed the nipple, it'd be okay for YouTube. So
Yeah,
Phyrus, you need to edit
But-
his nipple out of the audio.
But I get,
Yeah, I think iTunes has a thing against that.
I'll bleep his nipple on recording.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
It talks sometimes, so you gotta do
Oh
that.
shit.
I'm sorry, somebody hear something? Nope.
Anyone else
Nope,
have anything
nah,
to
I
add
don't.
about Elite Dangerous Horizons update?
Was that what we were talking about?
Original.
we were.
I think it's
Were
really
we?
cool.
I thought we were talking about No Man's Sky.
Damn it, what is those?
Star
Whatever,
Citizen.
we'll talk about it later.
Yes, moving on. Star
Moving
Citizen.
on.
Alpha 2.0 launches as the crowdfunding totals approaches $100 million.
Hang on, but back up for just a second. Let's compare that to what Phyrus just said about the $50 billion about the movie that hadn't even come out yet, and double that really quick. That's what you got with Star Citizen.
And this is on a game that a lot of people people around the world haven't necessarily heard of.
Right.
Like,
the other difference
everybody
is,
knows about Star Wars.
The other difference is the Star Wars movie is in the can and it's waiting to be shown. It's completed. It's been completed. And it didn't rely on individual people to fund the making of the Star Wars movie.
They were-
That's a very good
So, like,
point.
real talk here for a second. If you gave
All right,
money to Star
this is
Citizen,
Damien's
and you,
real talk clip for the day.
real talk.
Real talk.
If you
guys.
gave
It's
money
real
to
talk.
Star Citizen and you're really hyped for this game, and we're all sitting here bashing the game, I really hope your game comes out, and I really hope it's good. I truly like.
I don't.
No, he
Part of
doesn't.
me does,
He
but
doesn't.
then at the same
wants it to be
time,
shit. He
at the
said it
same
before the
time,
show.
I gotta tell you, you gave money to something that doesn't exist, and I kind of hope that it's garbage.
Hey man.
I kind of do.
So it kind
but-
of exists. There are
kind of-
space station things that you can go explore a little
But
bit.
like seriously, I mean, I don't want somebody
like 5
watching our
minutes.
show to be like, "Hey, these guys are douchebags,"
No,
and
see, the
nobody
thing
on the
is, it's-
show likes that game.
It's less
And-
that and more. I think we're more bashing the developers for getting away with what they have. The fact that they've
Sure.
earned and been paid as much as they have without
Oh no.
actually
I don't-
producing.
I don't want to
No.
bash the developers for that. I want
Sorry,
to
just the
bash the
one?
people that fucking funded that because they were dumb
See,
enough
I
to
didn't want to
fucking
do that because that's a lot of people. $100 million comes from a
Yeah?
lot of people,
Okay.
and we
yeah.
Well-
don't have a lot of people watching our show, and I don't want to get rid of
Well,
people
I'm
watching our show.
Damien, calm down. Honestly, I don't think it's the people so much as the devs. It's the people who are running the Kickstarter or whatever it was crowdfunded by, the developers. I'm more upset with them with just the fact that they're promising all this stuff and they're not producing anything. Like they've been given what they asked for something, they haven't given back on their end of the bargain
Yeah, they've missed their milestones.
now
quite
they're
often.
asking for more.
by a long shot, and they're still asking for more money. Yeah,
Well, I don't know if they're asking for more money or if people are still throwing money.
Last
at
I
it. I think
checked,
that
they
may
were
be a
still-
difference.
they were still asking for more on their website last I checked.
Well,
but
I
that
mean, they're
wasn't-
not gonna
Well,
they're not
wait,
gonna say
let's-
don't give us any more money.
Right.
But
and
I
I
know
was
they're not actively campaigning.
Right.
I don't see them actively campaigning for more money.
Okay.
The fact that they keep releasing these updates, you could say that's possibly campaigning, but I also think they're giving updates to their backers to say, look, we are making progress. This
Mhm.
is what's new. This is another module, if you will, part of the game that's somewhat finished. So we're giving you a piece at a time. It's not the whole thing. We realize that, but going back to their original idea, this game was supposed to be a space sim, a flight sim, like Elite Dangerous ended up being. But
Okay.
then they got the giant ideas, the wide eyes saying, well, we should do a first-person shooter module part of this so we can get out of the spaceships and have like a Call of Duty shootout portion of this game. And then they're like, well, if we got that, maybe we could make space stations that we can get out and walk around in. Like, that's great. Elite Dangerous doesn't have that. And now they've got all these new options as part of this 2.0. There's EVA, extravehicular activity. You can drift out of your ship's airlock and venture into the void of space. There's 20 different types of random encounters. I don't know how you can have just 20 random encounters. But quantum travel, you can go at 0.2 speed of light. New ships, which they always release new ships. There's a couple locations. There's one planet now. There's 3 moons and 3 space stations that you can visit. and then there's 9 comm arrays. But then there's they said there's wreckage and scavenge and never-ending battles and the Yelda asteroid belt. So I guess that's like the dogfighting area that they've released a long time ago. So I mean, it seems like they're moving in the right direction. Are they moving at the pace that $100 million should make them be
Should
at?
be able to fund.
Probably not.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so at all.
Man, okay, so I want to get into this with just a fucking story about something that I funded on Kickstarter. There was a phone that I backed on Kickstarter that was actually done by a lot of higher ups from other like well-known fucking companies like fucking Sony and Samsung and so on and so forth. They left and they made their own like little phone studio, and they wanted to kickstart that and start selling phones under this new brand. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool, and it actually looks really good for what the phone is. So let's fucking do it. And I backed it for $300, and after 3 months of them delaying it and delaying it and delaying it, with weeks of us not hearing anything about it, I eventually was just like, you want to know what, man? Fuck it. I'm calling my bank right now, and I'm just fucking having them reverse this. I'm doing a chargeback from fucking Kickstarter because this is dumb. And now Kickstarter's mad at me. They're just like, hey, you took the money back. And I was like, yeah, because it's my fucking money, and I haven't received what I fucking paid for 3 months ago. Fuck you, you know?
See, I don't mind waiting in some cases as long as there's communication from
But see,
the
that's the
Kickstarter.
thing. Wasn't getting any form of fucking communication. So
Right. In which
Well, I
case they're
backed
dropping the
something.
ball.
Well, I backed something once. I mean, it was the coin. It was like a little card thing that has all your cards on it, and they didn't hit the release date that they were expecting. It took an extra year, but I'm happy
yeah,
with
see,
the
no,
end
I would have
product.
charged that shit back real quick.
I
A
mean, I
year,
was like, it
man?
was already done.
Fuck that.
Yeah, the only
See-
thing that I've backed on a Kickstarter is Hive Swap, which is the it's a video
Hives.
game for MS Paint Adventures Homestuck. So and they never met their goal, or they didn't meet their release time and stuff like that, but he does keep sending out updates on the game every maybe 5 or 6 months, and clips and videos for it and stuff like that. I think they're about a year behind right now on that, but I mean, they raised a lot of money, and at least he shows gameplay videos and clips and shit like that. Again, I didn't donate that much to that, though. It wasn't that much money. So, meh. But it's the same thing. I mean, like, you donate money, and that's what happens with a Kickstarter, is there's no guarantee of what's gonna fucking happen. I just don't see how you can raise $100 million with people not knowing what's gonna happen.
At least contract in another company to help you out or something.
Yeah,
mean-
that's actually what happened with the Homestuck one, is they actually had to hire a bunch of new people because they got more backers than they thought they would get. They actually had to start a studio and all this other stuff to start making the game, and like because their stretch goals were really lofty. So then they had to do all this stuff and hire a whole lot of extra people on, and then they expanded into a bigger thing, hired more people on, and blah blah blah.
So what did the so this is the Star Citizen Alpha 2.0 launched. So what exactly is it off? You said it offers you went through a few of them, or did you go over all of them already?
That was what was listed as the new features.
Okay. So you can actually leave the space station, and what you couldn't do that before, right? You can only go into the hangar and look at your ships that you paid like $1 bajillion for.
Well, they added
what-
PvP a little while back.
Yeah, they've got like
The
they had a
dogfights.
dogfight module where you could get in your ship and kind of like a PvP kind of thing, where you'd be locked in a location and you could fight, starfighter fight between ships. I think that was released a while ago.
It
Do you,
was.
do you guys know anything about Eve at all? Like, have any of you played it, really?
I've stayed away from that.
Okay. Because
Honestly,
I was just curious if they had specific PvP zones or if everything's open to PvP. Because
I'm
the way this
pretty
sounds...
I'm pretty sure there's no Care Bear in Eve.
No.
Okay. Yeah, because the way this sounds, it sounds like I'm just going to make my character spawn and I'm going to get shot right in the face immediately. That's... Because they're just talking about it. They want it to be a first-person shooter, so... unless you're going to have everybody strewn about space at all times where you're rarely going to see anybody, but who knows how big this is actually going to be. But
I
I
would
mean,
definitely be a space cowboy.
would
And I'd
definitely be a
also
space
be
cowboy.
a gangster of love.
I like that.
man, I thought you
My
were doing a
character's
Cowboy
name would
Bebop
be
reference.
Maurice.
I didn't think you were going to go song reference. Now I'm disappointed.
And I'd speak a language just the pompatus of love. And that's all I would do.
You're a good man.
Get out. You're as bad as Gaz today. Get out.
Why are you
Sorry,
hating on
go-
the classics, man?
That
Yeah.
was better than I'm horny, okay? That was better than that.
That's a good point.
I guess.
It was at least a 6 or a 7.
Wow.
At least we're going
At
back to
least
that
a
far. huh?
6. Are we really going
You're
back
still
to
holding
that
on to
episode?
that.
Still,
Yeah, I'm
holding on to that
pissed.
Still
grudge.
holding on to it, man.
I'm pissed.
It's not the only thing he's
I'll
holding on
be-
to.
Oh yeah, well.
For those
you
of
know.
you who haven't seen that episode, I believe Gaz rated Damien as at least a 6 or a 7. Is that how that worked?
At
He
least a
he
6.
rated me and my friend who is the movie reviewer girl that was
I
on
didn't
here.
admit. I didn't rate her.
Yes, you did. That was what we were talking about.
No,
you
I
said
didn't.
you liked her.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
you liked
she
her
looks kind of like Damien.
because no,
And-
he said he
Never
liked her
mind.
because she was cute, but in the achievable kind of way. And then he went, I usually go for girls that are about a 6 or a 7, and then that's when I got pissed.
I was
Yeah.
talking about you, Damien.
I will fucking cut you. I'll look at
Oh, baby.
okay.
Oh,
Right here.
man. You know what?
Right
I
here.
love this show so much. It's such
It
a
being-
good show,
hey,
Wait, I'll
angry-
do you one
being-
better.
It being angry is better for me.
right?
This show's such a beautiful disaster
I'm
right
gonna
now.
have
It
to
is.
go back and watch this episode now because I don't remember talking about her at all. Oh baby, oh
He's gonna
yeah.
cut
So
you,
yeah,
guys.
Star
He's gonna
Citizen,
commit
guys.
Sudoku.
Sudoku.
All right, so I'm gonna throw a little bit of a curveball in here. I wasn't gonna cover this story today, but we're gonna throw it in here. Since we were talking about Kickstarter, there was another article that I found this week on Kotaku. It says there was an RPG that raised $1 million on Kickstarter in 2013. It was supposed to be released this year in 2015, and now it's being delayed to 2018.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I'm gonna say screw them, just like screw the Star Citizen people. That's all there is to it. Screw you. Give me my game.
The game was touted as being a game to set the new standard of excellence for a Japanese gaming industry. It was supposed to be a JRPG. So their original goal was just $100,000, and they ended up raising over $1 million. And they were teasing famous staff members that were going to be included in this project. For example, one of the guys that they said that they were going to have was David Clark. He was a programmer for Moon Studios, but the problem is he has spent the last couple of years working on a game called Ori and the Blind Forest, and not on this game that they've gotten funding for. They didn't get this giant name programmer that was supposed to be helping design this new state of the art game. So that kind of set them back a little bit. Now they say they've got a new programmer. Apparently they got tired of waiting for the guy that they said they had. And they've got some of the stuff that's finished. They got character designs finished, base models, finished the scenario of the game. But there's over 120 minutes of the music, but there will be more. And they've been doing it as a weekend job, it says. So what do you guys think?
3 more fucking years, man.
Yeah.
gonna be a great game. It's setting the new standards
That-
for
that
is-
JRPGs or
that is
Japanese programming.
Well, I
Fucking
mean,
rough.
I bet what happened probably a part of this all is like people set these small goals and then they far exceed them and then they realize like
They're in
they don't know
overhead.
how to do something like that
Yep.
or how to use all this extra money appropriately. So they're like,
DLC.
Yeah, make some season passes on day one and a whole bunch of fucking DLC. Do that.
It reminds me a little bit of Silicon Valley, which is an HBO series.
It's
if
a
you're
great
a nerd,
fucking series.
if you're a nerd that's listening to this podcast and you haven't watched that show, watch it. It's 2 seasons finished now. Third season will be coming up. It's an excellent show. It's about guys that are designing an app and the problems that come with that, with success. And they were going to release their company as an IPO, and they were getting all these venture capitalists willing to throw them ridiculous amounts of money for this project. But they were warned, like, don't take all the money that you can get, because if you get funded for $20 billion for this app design and it only sells moderately, you're going to be ruined for the rest of your life. No one will trust you at all. So they ended up, trying to scale back, what their possibilities were, just to keep everything in line, so they didn't get destroyed by everybody in the industry. So it kind of reminds me of what happened here. They were looking for 100,000. They ended up getting 10 times that amount of money. And so when you've got that much money behind it, expectations rise as well. If this was a project that was only funded for $100,000, yeah, some people would be angry, but it wouldn't have made the front page of Kotaku.
So
Reminds me of the Netflix season of Arrested Development. When he
Yeah.
makes the phone app.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. And then it was
there-
supposed to like make it so that you can block people from viewing every single one of your profiles on any kind of social media on the internet, but really it's just a thing to keep time. It's like a wood block app for your phone.
So
I'm not even gonna pretend that I know anything about Arrested Development.
It's fucking great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good. You should
the
watch it.
the Netflix series was okay. The original
series is
should
much
never have gotten
better.
canceled.
I'm just not a fan of that comedy style. Like I try to watch that stuff and
Like
like The
chaotic?
Office and stuff like that, and then I fucking just want to blow my brains out. I'm like, oh fuck this. Got a million other things I'd rather be spending my time on.
So to rub a little more salt in Naki's previous troubles, we're going to talk about theft.
Hooray.
Valve says that approximately 77,000 Steam accounts get hijacked per month.
Oh man, I'm so
Uh,
excited that not only will I have my fucking physical stuff stolen in real life, but man, I have a very high possibility of having my digital stuff stolen as well. Oh, I'm so happy.
So if you're a Steam user, you've probably noticed every time, well, maybe once out of every 5 days that you log in, you're going to get a Steam Authenticator thing thrown in your face. Sign up for this. It's really easy. It's a simple app, and it's a secondary level of authentication to log into your account so that nobody else can log into your account from elsewhere. And this is because this has been a problem. With all these people getting their keys or their accounts hijacked, people tend to start selling off items that are in their inventories one by one. And this has been a problem going on, but there's not a whole lot they can do about it. So they've started to add a couple different levels of security in. First, the option of having a secondary authenticator. And now they're going to be instituting an escrow waiting period for trades. Which I think is a great idea from a person who doesn't do many trades. If you're a person that actually makes money trading items, though, this may be a pain in your ass. What do you guys think?
See, I think it's a 3-day trade delay period unless you get the phone authenticator. If I understood that right, if you have the phone authenticator, it'll actually send an authentication request to your phone, and then you can accept it.
Gotcha.
So
Yep.
I mean, so you can get around it. You don't have to wait 3 days if you have that. But I wonder if it's. I'm assuming both trade parties have to have that then, in order to do that. But I mean, I think that's actually a cool feature, especially the fact that they're not forcing people to get the authenticator, and you can't because not everybody has a cell phone or they don't want to put apps on it or whatever for whatever reason that they can't use it.
After having to call and sit on fucking hold with Blizzard for like an hour at a time each time that I fucking had to change my phone for whatever reason, like I don't know, I upgraded my phone, or I don't know, I lost my other phone and I had to get a new phone. After doing that like 3 fucking times, yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna use a mobile authenticator again. Fuck that. That
For
shit.
Final Fantasy,
not
I
fun.
use my security token.
Didn't they actually send
I
you like
used
an
to
actual
have
like
one.
dongle thing for that? Like you have a physical generator?
Yeah,
This is my
just held it
security
up.
token, yeah. Yeah.
I like the app on the phone.
They also do
I've-
the app on the phone. Oh, I'm holding it
I've
upside
switched
down.
my phones too many times
Yeah.
for me to actually like have that as a useful thing.
I'd also like to mention real quick that Norgoz is really awesome, and while I pick on him a
Oh,
lot on
boy.
the show, that's because I like him. I just want
That's-
people to know that I just don't fucking hate Norgoz and come on the show every week and go, "Fuck you, Norgoz!"
No,
every
that's
fucking
just
time.
that's just you and Highsight.
Where did this come
Yeah.
from?
Well, no, I feel bad because
I'm
you look
waiting-
like you were sad. We've been bashing on you
man.
all fucking episode.
Started with Devilian.
I'm waiting for the insult to come up. Can we just skip
No,
to the
there's
insult?
There's no
He's
insult.
with
That's
the
good. I like that, Norgoz. Norgoz is at least a 6 or 7 in my book.
That-
But
I'm at least a 6 if I'm in a business suit, man. I'm an
yeah.
automatic 6. I'm an automatic 6.
sounds
at
good to
least.
me.
Norgoz just doesn't know how to take the hate though. Like he's sitting all sad. Whereas like when
No, he
it's
looked
when it's
sad.
me and Highsight,
did.
dude, me and Highsight are just fucking like yelling at each other. Shit's
And
great.
Highsight's always smiling about it. That's the thing.
he is too.
Highsight's like, please pick on me, please.
He's like, I'm ready to do this, and he's,
He's like,
all
"I'm
happy.
ready."
He wants
That's-
to fight.
That's why it's so much fun to pick on Highsight, dude. Because he'll just fucking come right back.
You don't give a
Norgoz
shit.
looks like I just stole his favorite toy.
I know,
after,
right?
After we
did.
picked on him.
This is not me sad, okay? This is not me sad.
You were just like slumped back in your chair, playing your mobile game in the corner.
Oh, I'm
like,
not
we
playing a
can't
mobile
notice.
game.
Okay, but
Lies.
doing
He's
something else.
Lies.
But yeah, anyways, I think
It's the real reason why he's wearing
Back-
glasses today. He's just like, I'm just gonna hide my tears.
That's so fucked up. Well, it does glare off the
Yeah, like,
glasses,
I
so
can-
it's a little.
yep.
Yeah, so external authenticators I think is a great idea. When I was a World of Warcraft junkie, I had an authenticator dongle just like Damien has. That it never went anywhere with me. I had it actually double tape stuck to my monitor so that I would never lose it. So even if I didn't have my keys on me, I'd be able to push the button and get the code there. Great idea. I'm not exactly sure how the encryption works and how it generates a number to authenticate to your account by time. Well, actually, I do know how that works now, but that's besides the point.
Well, then he's
You explained it to yourself, like you
He
explained it
contradicted
at the same
himself
time
in
as
less than
saying
10
that I don't
seconds.
understand it.
I
By
mean, it's just
time,
an encryption. It's just an encryption hash, and the key is hidden within your dongle, but that key is linked to your
I
account.
hide keys
My
in my
dongles?
dongle all the time.
And then it
Oh,
hashes
that's
the
right. Now,
time to
don't make
to
dongle
account.
jokes, though. Don't make penis dongle jokes, because a feminist will get mad, and then you will get fired from your job.
Yeah. So
And what is with this politics crap?
What happened with
I'm
this?
done
Where
doing
did that
politics
even
talk.
come
I don't
from?
know.
Yeah,
this is
We
why
were
I'm
talking
so-
about
Oh my God.
dongles, and I don't know. I watched that video last week, and it just made me
Jeez.
really angry, and I
Jeez,
thought about it.
Michael.
Sorry, my mind
So-
travels.
Yeah, oh my god.
By the way,
man.
who is the reigning champion of King of the Dongers? Who is the reigning champion?
Uh,
thinking it's
obviously, it's
Cage.
me for style points.
Yes.
I
Because
don't
nobody
know,
else wants to
man.
play
I
style
think it might have
points.
been Damien, to be quite honest.
Sometimes you launch yourself really far. You gotta do a few flips. No, you sound like fucking God. I can't even remember.
Tiny
the-
Tim.
Sure, we'll go with that. That's not what I was gonna say, but we'll go with that. I was gonna say the one singer that's like, hey, nah, nah, nah.
Oh,
Is
Bob
that
Dylan.
Bob Dylan, yeah. I don't
Take
like
a
Bob
look at
Dylan.
you.
Sometimes you feel
Like
no
everything
one's
is
around.
wrong.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's you guys. That's what you sound like.
Really?
If you want a painful
Yeah.
experience, check out Bob Dylan's, I think it was 2008 Christmas album.
If
That
you hate
shit
yourself,
is
go
horrible
get
and
it.
hilarious.
I've just seen old videos of Bob Dylan being interviewed, and he's like, "You just wouldn't get it, man. You wouldn't understand the music." And I'm like, Bob Dylan, you pompous fuck. And he just makes me mad, but
I heard an
he
interview
makes
with
good music.
Jewel. I heard an interview with Jewel on NPR. It was on one of the game shows. And she was talking about how after her first album didn't sell very well, she went on tour, and Bob Dylan picked her up on tour to travel and to perform with him, I should say. And she's like, yeah, it was great. And we went around to like all these different countries, and basically I was like his interpreter because nobody could understand what the fuck he was saying. So he would say what he wanted to say, and then he'd look at me, even though he was speaking English, and I would have to translate what he was saying. It was hilarious.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
All right.
So, as we know, Final Fantasy VII was in the news recently because they are coming out with a remake of the epic original game that most gamers hold dear to their heart. And everyone was pumped. They saw all these the live clips from it, the highlights, and then it comes out that it's going to be a 3-part game, and a lot of people flipped their shit about that announcement.
Well, I mean, like,
Um,
we had to change discs with the old one, so it only makes sense that you got to change discs with the new one too.
Well, the thing about it is though we don't know whether
That was
if
me
the
being a
way-
smartass, by the way.
We haven't
know,
done
fuck
that since like I don't know, what is that?
Since the PS2,
2004,
basically.
2005?
Oh
PS2
no,
games, yeah.
no! Unless you had an Xbox 360, and then you had to do that quite a bit. Actually, now that
Oh well, Xbox 360 is garbage, so nobody has that.
a lot of people had that actually, but you know, this is beside the point.
No.
I have a broken 360.
So did a
Oh,
lot of
hard
people.
drive. If somebody wants to send me a hard drive, I'll finally own a 360 that works.
Get a laptop. Get a laptop hard drive.
I think that
That's
the
all it
main
is.
problem that people
costs me
have
money,
with
guys.
it
Oh no,
is
with
that
the Xbox 360s, no, dude, laptop hard drives didn't work with that. They had
Propriety.
yep, hard drives.
Damien.
yeah. Okay. Well, I think that the main problem people have with that is that they think that it's probably just going to be one game that they're going to try to sell you multiple times. And while I can see the concern for that, because that seems like some shit that people would do, hopefully it's made in a way where you get at least like, 30,
6.
40 hours. Fuck you guys. 30, 40 hours of gameplay in each episode, which is what I'm going to assume they're going to do, because from the way they're talking about it, they're gonna try to make this like the last 7
The
thing that
ultimate
they
gaming
do.
experience.
It's gonna be the
The
ultimate
gaming experience.
gaming experience. Fucking
Yes.
yeah.
How do you feel about me now? Hey, like me now, Damien?
But if they didn't do something like this, if they didn't split it up into multiple games, I feel like the amount of content that they want to put out for 7 is probably way too much. They want to get it done, and they want to do it to the point where people aren't going to be like, hey, where's the new Final Fantasy 7? When's 7-2 remake coming out? They're going to be like, oh, wow, I got all this gameplay. There's nothing more for them to do. That's it.
Nothing
And
more to
hopefully
be
that's
said
it.
about it.
And hopefully everybody's done with fucking 7 because I'm tired of hearing about it.
I
See-
actually agree with you on that one. It's over talked about, and I'm done. I'm tired of hearing about it.
I want my Final Fantasy 8 remake with a better combat system.
Well, the
That's what I
secret
want.
they're not telling you is the second part of this 3-part episodic release is actually going to be a remake of X2. They're
Oh,
holding
yeah,
that back because they don't want people to burn down Square Enix headquarters.
They
Hey,
sneak
I
it
actually
in there.
liked
It's a
X2,
title
thank you
screen
very
of
much.
7, and then when you press play, it just goes straight into X2.
They start dancing. Yes. So the producer Yoshinori Kitase from Square Enix was on the record to talk about why it was being episodic, and he said basically what you said. He said that they're trying to recreate the game with all the characters, all the plot lines, all of the environments, but done in a different method. Obviously, Final Fantasy was what years and years ago. Was it 2000? Shit,
Which one?
1997.
Wait, what year for what?
For
Final
7.
Fantasy 7.
What was a
The
year
release
off?
was in the 90s.
Yeah, 97.
Yeah, it's 90s. Yeah.
So to go from that, where you were basically locked into one camera view for the overhead stuff, and a lot of the combat was much the same. From what they're showing in this remake, it looks like it's going to be more of a free flowing game, and like we're used to 3D cameras now, so that's obviously going to be much larger to program. And if you keep
And
in
that it's
mind
live
that
action versus turn based.
And then all the
Right.
models that you got to make and yada yada yada. Like it is going to be ridiculously much more expensive than the old game was to make.
And a lot more to,
And
make.
if they
yeah.
make a collector's edition, I don't care how expensive it is. I will sell my soul for the collector's edition.
Well, I just imagine, like, I didn't play 7, but I've played 6, 8, 9, 10, pretty much most of the Final Fantasies other than
Intentionally
7.
avoided it.
No, I didn't intentionally. I actually played the beginning of it, and I was like, But anyway, if they were to remake 6, for instance, just the amount of towns and the size of that game in general, and then just trying to remake every single town in 3D and give it its own feel and stuff like that, you wouldn't be able to do that in one game. You wouldn't be able to get the amount of content that's in 6 in a game nowadays without it being like a Fallout type game or something like that.
So would you guys
And
say-
you'd lose the main storyline and immersion that you get with a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
So would you guys say that the old Final Fantasy games are actually bigger than the newer ones in a sense? The amount of
I wouldn't-
space that you travel and the amount of content that you actually do cover.
Well,
I'd say that 6 is definitely a bigger world than than 13 for sure. I would say that.
I think it all comes down to semantics at that point, though, because yes, it may be technically a bigger world, as in like your character and the environments that you get to go around and explore. But when it comes to the actual development of these worlds, the newer games have a bit of merit to them when they come to that, because when you're talking about the old games like Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 7, those are all just like 2D flat plane environments. There's nothing to them. You can draw that shit in like a day, you know. Whereas when
Right.
we're talking about these big fucking environments that you gotta model this and model that, make this fucking building, make this environment, make this fucking road, and so on and so forth, like that takes so much more time, and it is bigger in a sense because it's a 3D environment and not just a 2D little plane.
Right.
But if you're talking about like scale in that world, yes, it is technically bigger. But
Well,
that's because
that's what
it's
I was
easier
trying to
to
get at.
make, you know.
Is if you tried to recreate that world with all 3D models, it'd be a massive undertaking.
And it would
That's what
be
I was trying to get at.
ridiculously fucking expensive.
And I think that's
Which
what
is
they're
probably
trying
why
to-
they would do it episodically.
not
Yeah.
only is it going to be expensive to create, imagine how large the install would be if you bought this
Yeah.
not physical copy.
digitally.
Well, here's the thing with that is that my question is, are they going to do it in episodes where, oh, you get up to X point and then you can't go any further and then you can move on to episode 2, you go to X point and you can't go backwards beyond Y point, and then the same thing for
Oh.
episode 3? Or are they adding it to, like, they have this far you can go and you're limited, but when the next part comes in, the world's expanded, and the same thing with
I imagine they'll do it like the old Final Fantasy games where you go up to a point and then you just insert the next disc, and either the world's changed or you have whole new areas to go to.
Yeah, that's what happened with the original Final Fantasy VII. Was in Final Fantasy VII, as soon as you changed to another disc, the old disc, like, you didn't play any of the content on the old disc. You played your
Right,
character
that's just story.
and all of the
The
stats
world's
and
still
everything,
there.
but
But you could still go there. I mean, ultimately, in the end of the
you
game,
would have to
you
change
could go
discs.
everywhere in the world.
You had to change
could go
discs
everywhere.
anytime you wanted to go back.
Huh.
To that part of the world?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't remember
No.
that part. I thought the world was still persistent, but the story and the way the characters were interacting, the settings may have changed. Like this town may have been destroyed or whatever, but you're still able to go back to those places. Just, you know, the events that take place are on different discs.
I know that in 8, there's certain towns you can't go back to. You wouldn't even be able to go back if you put in the other disc. But in general, most of the world was still traversable. And I mean, certain places disappear. There's different animations for different sprites, I guess.
Oh,
for
you
different
know,
towns and stuff like that.
you're right. I am wrong on that one, just because what took up the majority of the space was the cutscenes and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
The
Yeah,
only part
dude,
the
8
graphics were
8
decent.
cutscenes. Oh man, I mean any Final Fantasy's cutscenes.
yeah, their cutscenes are great. So that's what was majority on those discs were the cutscenes. So you wouldn't be able to experience those cutscenes, you know, after you already did them. So that makes sense why the entire world would still technically be on all 3 discs, because those worlds were fucking tiny compared to the
overmaps?
cutscenes.
I mean, it's just sprites and stuff. So
Yeah.
Clearly, that's what 7's going to be. It's going to be consistently. It's just cutscenes forever with a couple fights here and there.
Yep.
yeah,
but it's going to look better than
definitely.
the gameplay. It's going to look way too good.
It'll look super good.
It'll be at least a 6.
I think
it'll be at least
how
a
it
six.
It'll
looks.
probably be a
I
6
think
or
one of the
7.
reasons why I got that mixed up was because that's the way that it was in like fucking Metal Gear Solid.
And that's the way it was. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. And that's the way, I like it.
I saw
Um,
somebody draw up a funny image for Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC, and
Yeah,
it
that was me.
Was that you that had like
Yeah.
the
It's just like
the
unlock
Yuffie.
Yuffie, $14.
Oh yeah, I remember
Vincent.
this.
Unlock Vincent, $15. Save
Well,
Aerith.
TPA can join your group?
And then it's like Golden Saucer, 5 free tokens a day. Additional tokens cost real life money.
I
exactly.
honestly, and I did say with the Golden Saucer, you could release that as its own individual game, and have it be like a free to play game with a cash shop, and they
Just
make
a
fucking
gambling
bank off
game?
of it.
They make
Just a
those.
fucking
Those
They
are
bank.
have
called.
a-
Make,
Those are
make
called
a phone app.
pachinko machines.
They have a Golden Saucer in
What kind of
Final Fantasy
machines?
14.
Pachinko.
Yes, they do.
And you go there and you trade gil for Golden Saucer points, and you can only
Yep.
get a certain amount, and then you have to play the
500.
games to earn points after that, and then you can use that to unlock glamour
DLC.
things and dances and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
All right, moving on. We've got 2 stories left. We were talking. This is kind of an update to a conversation we've had over the past couple weeks. There is a recent spurt of first-person / third-person arena shooters that are coming out. Overwatch, Battleborn, and the new release Paragon from Epic Studios.
I want it.
Which hasn't been really released, and there's very little out about it, but it looks fucking beautiful.
Oh, dude, it looks so good. I mean, they
So-
released that fucking cinematic where the cinematic was really pretty, but you're like, okay, this is an Epic game, you know. It's just a fucking cinematic for a MOBA. I mean, League of Legends had a pretty cinematic, and you know, look at League of Legends. And
I
then
love
they
League of Legends
and then
cinematic.
just a-
It was amazing.
and then
they're
Their
awesome.
cinematics
couple-
are great.
a couple hours later, they released fucking gameplay footage, and it looked just like the fucking cinematic trailer for fucking Paragon, and I was like,
They don't tell
that's
you that
pretty.
they had a rig with 7 Titan video cards linked together. That'll
You need
only
to- you need
run
to
in
buy-
Antarctica outside in a snowbank.
You have to buy a new system with the game.
You have to buy a new air conditioning unit for your house.
okay,
to,
so
yeah.
you want to know one of the
It's
reasons why I'm
geo-cool.
actually super fucking excited for Paragon?
Please tell me.
So one of the reasons why obviously there's the reason. I have two reasons. One, you can play on PS4 or you can play on PC, and you can log into that same account and then not lose progression between them. That's fucking awesome. More games need to do that. The second reason why is because of its in-game fucking replayer. So when you play a match, you can save that replay, and then you can go back in, and really the only thing that the replay saves is just where each model was at a specific time and what abilities they used. So, when
There's
you
a lot
go
of games
back
that
and
do that now.
I know a lot of games do that, but it just depends. There are more than there used to be several years ago, but there's still just not enough of them do that. But with this game specifically, like, you can take the HUD off and you can fucking go around in the 3D environment and whatnot. And the reason why I'm excited for that is because that's actually how I got a lot of my footage for videos for Firefall, is because they have a replay system that is very similar to that.
Yeah, that was very handy. It was
pretty
clunky
awesome.
as shit to use, but it was nice.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I'm just like, fuck yes, because that shit was so goddamn useful making Firefall videos.
Yep. So one of the discussions we were having was about price point and value in shooter or multiplayer only games, which Overwatch is going to be. It was set at I think it was $60 per console and $40 PC.
Yeah,
No.
Overwatch is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And a lot of us were concerned about that because a lot of the ways that these games are financed or packaged is DLC, where they release characters like Heroes of the Storm, League of Legends, any other game that's been MOBA based. That's the functionality that they follow through. We were originally shocked to find that they were having it as a pay-to-play game originally. We're like, well, why are they going pay-to-play? Because every other MOBA game is free-to-play with content, character, and skin DLC. And then we find out that they're going to be releasing characters, and we're like, so are they going to be double or triple dipping with this? But they came out with an announcement this week that they are planning on releasing new characters and different map packs and possibly different modes, and they will all be free as they develop them and release them. So your initial, as it is now, your initial buy into the game will be the purchase price for the game moving forward.
Yay! That's the way it should be. That's great.
Makes the price point a little more justifiable.
Oh yeah, no,
Assuming
that's definitely a good choice on their part, just because, with the idea that we had before, our concerns about it, that was kind of sketch, and now that this has come out, this is definitely an incentive for people to pick up this game. It's a reason for people to actually give money to Blizzard instead of just sit there and question it the entire time.
And then,
I like it. I like the fact that they're doing this.
Then on the other hand, you got Rainbow Six over here, which has a similar number of specialized heroes, or they're called operators.
Operators.
In Rainbow Six. Similar. Well, actually, it has more maps than Overwatch did in beta. They probably have a couple on the back burner though. And they're going to charge for additional operators and possibly additional content. I don't know if those operators will also be unlockable through in-game money, or if you will have to buy them specifically with outside money. But regardless, not all the characters are available to you upon purchase of the game, and it's a $60 game. And Overwatch, when you buy the game, you got them. So what's up with that?
So in Rainbow Six, can you play as a giant mechanical monkey?
You can play as a guy that can put a thing on a wall and shoot a bunch of grenades through that wall into the room.
I was going to say something super racist. I was going to be like, is there a black guy in there?
Oh,
Actually, in
Rated
Rainbow
R
Six, I
for
don't think that
racist.
there are any black people in there.
Well, then
Is it based
who's
in the
really
future?
racist? Me for trying to make that joke, or them for not
But
putting a
there's
black person
there's
in there?
females. There's women characters, so at
They have,
least you got that.
they have at least one black guy in there. They got Castle.
Is Castle? Oh, Castle is black. Yep.
Okay. Well,
So
then
it's
my
not
joke
racist.
still stands. And
My
then I'm the
brother-
racist.
I'm just
My
saying it's a
brother and I-
$60 game, and they're going to charge, at least with in-game money, at the minimum, and they charge you for skins with real-life money, stuff like that. I don't know if Overwatch will plan on for skins and stuff. They might.
I'm sure they would. I would
Because they
imagine
have talked about skins and having a cash shop,
Yeah,
shop
they'll-
of
They're doing it
sorts.
for Heroes of the Storm already.
But at
Shoot,
least
they make bank off Heroes.
at least you get your heroes, and at least you get all future content with Rainbow Six is up in the air, and it costs $20 more than Overwatch. I would argue
Unless
that
you're
it
buying
has.
a console.
I would argue that Rainbow Six has a little bit more playability. It doesn't have a storyline, but it does have a situation mode, which has 12 different main. It's like a main scenario. It runs through basically training, and teaches you all the stuff about the game. But
you want
it's
to know what
kind
else
of.
tried to do that? Fucking
What?
Evolve.
I don't. Okay, that's nice. And
Fuck Evolve. That game is dumb.
and it has multiple game modes, from hostages to defusing a bomb to like capture a point, but all of them eventually boil down to the same thing of kill all of your enemies. Then they also have terrorist hunt, which is like a co-op mode. So at least between the normal combat and terrorist hunt, there's at least 2 game modes, where Overwatch has fight other people. And
So
there you go.
I think one of the bigger picture takeaways we can take from this story is the fact that Blizzard now is swinging a very large dick around the industry.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Haven't they
They-
always
they've
been
earned
doing
that,
that,
they've
though?
earned that point.
Well,
Several
they
industries.
fell off the edge for a little bit there. I mean, they
During
had
their hiatus.
StarCraft, and then they had like a hiatus of a while, and like everybody's like, "What's going on with Blizzard?" I don't fucking know. And then they were
World
like,
of Warcraft.
"Diablo 3 and 12 other games, bam!" And you're like, "Oh
I
shit!"
think they started to pick up heat with Diablo 3, which transferred into Hearthstone, which was a surprise to them, I think, that Hearthstone got as big as it did, and it's still as big as it is. And then obviously with the Heroes of the Storm, that game is taking off, and it's a free-to-play. That's not genre breaking because the other MOBAs have always pretty much been free to play.
Yeah, but who doesn't want to play a 2-headed ogre and have to be co-op, where one person gets to play the legs and the other one gets to actually shoot spells at people?
Man, you want to know
Every-
what?
who doesn't want that?
So I'm gonna say this. I highly like the fact that Blizzard is playing around with innovative stuff when it comes to their characters in Heroes of the Storm. Like the fucking 2-headed guy, or the 2-headed ogre, Cho'Gath.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Cho'Gath.
That is fucking cool. Like, that is a cool idea. And then the thing where you're basically playing an RTS, the bug thing, Abathur, like, that's cool. And then the Lost Vikings. Like,
Yeah,
those
even-
are all
even the
really
new
cool,
map.
unique fucking ways of doing character design in a MOBA that nobody else does. And I'm happy what Blizzard is doing in the MOBA market with that. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything. It's not fucking Smite. It's not, what Paragon is trying to do. It's none of that. It's just taking the same old concept of MOBA style, but then doing unique shit with its existing content. I don't know how to explain it other than that.
Now,
New,
what I
more
was talking about,
functionalities.
yeah,
More
what I
ways
was
to do
talking about
things.
swinging their dick about was not necessarily the in-game content and the changes that they're making to set themselves apart. Which that's great. They're innovative and they're going to capture market share because of their innovation. What I'm talking about is the fact that they're going to release this game probably ahead of the other 2 games that are in the same genre, which may be going a different way with their pricing. Now, if they can make a point that this financing model, this pricing model works with just this type of game, I think it might pressure Battleborn and the other game,
Mm-hmm.
Paragon, to go this route as well. So I think, in a way, I'm kind of really rooting for Overwatch to be successful because I'm a
Basically, you're saying
cheap
that
It's a
bastard.
fun ass game.
they're the ones setting the standards in this case, is what you're saying.
I hope they are. I hope they're successful at doing this because I would like to see them.
The way they're doing it is the way it should be done in your eyes.
But then again, if they're gonna price full price or slightly discounted full price, then yes, I don't want to see them to do price DLC along the way. I don't want them to be double dipping, and I think if they were double dipping, then everyone would be like, well, Blizzard's doing it, everyone else has been doing it. It's the way to go. Soak them for what they're worth. But I think if Blizzard's able to stand up because they're raking in the cash, maybe not so much as they used to with WoW, but I mean, they're
Still a lot of fucking money, though. Do the math on that.
They're still Scrooge McDucking, if you know what I mean. They've got a giant vault
Swimming in their
of
giant vault of
cash
money.
where they just dive in
Yeah.
and swim around for a while.
I mean, so basically, you're just hoping that they take the CD Projekt Red route.
Well, I mean, not exactly. Cedar Project Red has paid DLC. They released half a year's worth of incremental DLC for free on top of their original product. But they have what two DLCs out now, which are additional storyline stuff for Witcher 3.
Mhm.
So they didn't completely divert away from it, but it was nice that they were giving away free DLC.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people love them for that, and I do too. In fact, I think I ran across one piece of the DLC on this second playthrough that I never saw the first time. And I was like, that's not right. What the fuck was that? Must be new. But yeah, I hope they're successful with this pricing and that a lot of people support this by buying into it this way and getting all the free new characters as they get developed. I think Black Ops, with the money that they make, I think they could go this way as well, instead of trying to soak all their bro-fist retards for all the money that they're worth.
Wow.
Wow,
Salty,
man, that's
salty
Wow.
right
Way to
there.
generalize the player base. High five.
Jeez.
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Man, you
I'm
didn't,
not.
you didn't want me to generalize people and shit with the whole.
Damien's like, I
you-
don't want to offend our listeners.
Yeah.
You know who really soaks their player
Wow.
base?
The
Splatoon.
6.
Splatoon?
Cause you soak people in ink.
Oh,
no.
no.
I got it. I just wanted to stare at your face
I-
on that fucking screen
Watch him
because I
squirm.
couldn't believe you made that joke.
It's
Okay,
a damn good game. Buy Splatoon.
Hey,
It's a
hey
good game.
Norgoz, you got some insight into this?
I don't think
Soaking
you're
I like-
listening.
I like
We're
what.
He's like,
So
oh, I gotta put my phone down.
Overwatch is definitely setting, our Blizzard with Overwatch is definitely trying to set a standard. I agree with that. Agree with that fully. I do hope that they do kind of break the whole mold of the genre to where you have to go on and buy your heroes and stuff, because I mean, yes, they did that with the MOBA. It works. That's the business model that there is. But for like an FPS MOBA, that's still something that's still fairly new. And although it's the same basic concept for FPS games, I mean, you have DLC or you don't.
Mhm.
And they already saw what happened with Evolve. And I think that they took one from Evolve and said, you know what we could do to make this better is, why don't we do this? Let's get crazy for a moment. Why don't we just release all the maps and all of the heroes for free, but we still charge we'll charge full price for the game. And in retrospect, the players will feel like they got more value. We're going to increase our NPS numbers. We're going to increase our CSAT numbers. That's Net Promoter Score and customer satisfaction. I'm not going to go into it. Look it up. And people are going to be happy about it. Okay? So with that, I think it's a good move. For one, I'm going to fully support them with buying the $60 version of the PC. Because for the PC, and there's always going to be that difference. I don't think that it's going to be really hard for people to break the mold as far as PC
It's
versus
40
console.
for PC. The console is 60.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it the PC's 40, the console's 60? I don't think they're going to break that. I don't know if anybody's ever going to break that. But what I'm getting at is that for the PC, you've got the $40 version, and you've got the 60. That with the 60, you're going to get extra skins. I don't care about the skins as much. I care about the extra shit for all the other games that they've got. For Hearthstone, you get like a card backing. For Diablo, you get a pet or something. World of Warcraft, you get like a pet, and then World of Warcraft, you get the pet, and Diablo, you get the wings. And Heroes of the Storm, this is the big one. You get a whole new player for free, like they did with their StarCraft 2 model. You know, you would get Artanis for free, and you also get the whole Void mount.
Well, at that point, they're basically trying to cross promote their other games and make you want to buy their other games.
Yeah, but it's
smart.
genius.
No, it's definitely
is, dude.
smart.
It's very smart.
I'm just
I
saying,
think
like,
that-
that's why it's in there in the first place, though, is because they're trying to cross promote their other games.
But
think
for
that
me, it makes
one of
sense
the
though. If
main-
you
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, if you play Heroes of the Storm, that makes sense. You're going to pay between $5 and $10 if you pay money for that hero. So to me, why not?
Yeah, no,
You're saying, Damien?
I'm still saying it's a good idea. I never said it was a bad idea. I was just saying that's why they're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
But what if I told you that this wasn't a new concept? What if I told you this has actually already been done before?
Well, sure, it's been done, but what the cross promoting?
No. Buying the entire character set and future character set in a MOBA.
You mean like with every game
Season
before
pass?
2010?
Are you talking about Smite?
Smite, yeah. Smite, which is also free to play, but you can buy every single character for $30. And every character that is coming out. And every map that comes out. And everything. It all is
Can you still
included
do
in that
that now?
$30. Yeah.
I think that's actually a great idea because not only does that capture the money at one time, because every game developer that's looking for DLC or a free to play model, they don't make their money off of people that buy one skin or one character. They get their money, they get paid from whales. And these are people that buy everything that they can. They just dump cash into a game. So if you're able to bring that price down for a whale to like a normal half price of a video game, like say $30, then you've captured that money. So you're not going to have to get the $2 from this player and the $2 from that player. Not only that, but this also incentivizes the player to continue playing the game because they've bought into it. So they're like, well, I could play this other free-to-play game, but I've already paid $30 into Smite, and I heard they're coming out with a new character, so I want to play that. So it incentivizes the characters or the players to keep active within the game, so it's self-perpetuating. Granted, they could still be buying skins, and not just characters. But I think it's a great idea that they've come out with that.
I feel like probably one of the main reasons for the price difference is probably physical copies of the game.
The actual
between
distribution
PC
costs.
Yeah, distribution costs for
Mm-hmm.
buying the console. I mean, I'm sure they might have some physical copies for PC as well, but I bet you they're banking that most people that buy it for PC are going to download it rather than buy a physical copy.
I mean,
That's my guess.
But it's the same thing with consoles now. That you can get all that shit from the fucking PS store and the Xbox store now. Download it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
Licensing costs to get it on those systems. I don't know.
Smite
true.
is also on the Xbox One, and Smite is also coming out for the PS4 in
Okay,
a
we
couple
got
months.
it, Naki. You got a big
Go to
boner for
Smite.
Smite.
No, I
Scratch
actually I'm not a super huge fan of Smite, but I just thought that actually fits this conversation very well.
Yeah,
It-
I
it-
agree. I
don't
was
disagree on
just
that.
fucking with you.
But you're comparing Blizzard to I don't even know who makes Smite.
Hi-Res Studios, who made Tribes Ascend and Global Agenda.
Tribes I did enjoy, but
Tribes Ascend
they're-
actually just got a
but-
patch, the first patch
they're
in
not
2.5
Blizzard.
years.
Mhm.
It's you need a bigger company to really set those kinds of standards or to really make other companies follow suit.
Hammer at home.
I don't know, because Smite wound up being pretty fucking huge. So
It did. But again, they're still not Blizzard strong.
they're not Blizzard status, no. But look at
They've
League of Legends. League of Legends set a lot of fucking standards, and that was no Smite, or that was no Blizzard when they came out.
And
But
that comes
they
from a
are
company
now.
that only has one game. So,
Yeah.
Hey, no, they added an S at the end of that. They're working on another one somewhere.
right.
Yeah, Brandon avoided that one real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, I play League with them sometimes.
Brandon's a good guy. I love Brandon.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
We're talking about the senior community relations.
Yep.
He's the
specialist
community
or
manager.
something
Yeah,
like that.
community manager.
Yep.
He's still the latest Heroes Hideout episode that's on our SoundCloud.
Yep, he is.
Is
He
it?
is. I
What?
never changed it. I left it there. I don't know. I just a couple episodes
Nostalgia.
after that, I was just like, you want to know what? I could take this down off the SoundCloud, or I could just leave it. It's a good episode. I'm gonna leave it. So that's
Leave
what I
it.
did.
All right, so we're
I
close
don't
to
like
2
that episode
hours here in the
'cause I fucked it up.
podcast.
We are.
Do we want to hit this last story, or do we want to say sit on it?
Sit on my
let me-
Facebook.
Let me see the story.
Sit
I
on
mean,
my
if you want to give a quick
face.
summary of it,
You love
You know,
me.
honestly, you could say this story, and it would only consist of 2 minutes of us just berating
So
it.
ESO, which has been, it's still a pay-in game to start, but there's no subscription anymore for this game, Elder Scrolls Online. They have moved from the subscription-based to a pay-once phase with no subscription,
and nobody
And now
wants to
they're-
do that either.
and now Bethesda is willing to pay you to play their game.
Yep.
They are coming out, or they have come out with this. What do you want to call it? A promotion.
Incentive.
It's called Million Reasons to play ESO. They are taking one lucky player that plays between now and I think it was January 10th.
So here's the thing, you have
Yeah,
to.
January
It's
10th.
weird because they say two different things. Like you have to get it before the weekend's over on the 14th, and then you have to play it before the 16th. I think is what it is though.
Play
But
the
you got
Elder
to get it before
Scrolls.
the 14th to be eligible.
Play the Elder Scrolls between December 3rd and January 10th, 2016. So if you have to be logged in and play, it doesn't specify how long you have to play. You just basically have to log in. And then you have to fill out the form to be considered eligible for this drawing. So, I good on you, Bethesda, for being in the giving mood, I suppose,
It's the holidays.
and getting your name mentioned in small, tiny podcasts like ours.
I'm gonna go to Redbox right now. $3 for the chance to win $1 million.
No,
Also-
just download it for free. God damn it!
Also-
What the hell's the matter with you?
This is a free weekend currently, so if you're watching this anytime
Exactly.
near when this is being filmed on Saturday, it's free right now to play online.
It's
I
probably
don't know.
probably gonna go up fucking Sunday night, so I'm just saying, like, they'll have a couple hours.
So if you're watching this, quick download and log in. Although I'm not sure if that actually gets you sponsored because you didn't buy the game. But anyway,
Redbox.
there's going to be 1,000 lucky winners that get 3,000 crowns, or 3,000 crowns in the in-game crown store. So,
You know, man, to me, it's more just like, hey, man, we had this subscription game, and now we're buy to play, and now they're looking at it again and going, please, for the love of God, will somebody play our game? You know,
We'll pay you, please. You can't pay me enough. I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh man, fuck that game. Game's dumb. I don't know. It's just a stupid bias, but I'm not a fan of the Elder Scrolls. I was for Morrowind, and then after
love
that,
the
I was
Elder
just like,
Scrolls
this is
game.
dumb.
But that game was not well done, at least when I played it, but that was in the beta, so you know.
as Damien
Yeah,
said last
I played
week,
beta.
objectively a bad game. Your
Yes.
game sucks.
Your game sucks. Damien out.
Oh man. Oh, it was
fully
funny
did
too
go
because
out.
like
It's not even here.
when I brought that up to I brought that up on Reddit a couple times that, you know, it's not that great of a game. On the PS4 subreddit when it was coming out for PS4, And I was saying I'm not a fan. Don't think it's a good game. I don't think anybody should be like flipping the shit like they are right now. Back when it was first coming out for the PS4, because there was that year span where it was only on PC, and fuck, I got downvoted so bad, so bad because they were just like, "Shut up! It's done by fucking Bethesda." And then all of a sudden, like 3 months after the game came out, fucking barren wasteland. Nobody talked about it. And when somebody did talk about it, they were just like, "Yeah, we don't talk about that game anymore. Just don't bring it up." You know.
What game?
We're talking about your favorite game, Damien.
What game?
The game that you say is objectively shit.
Hello, Kitty.
Yeah, I know. I heard that we were talking about ESO. Yeah.
Your
If
game.
you go back to the last episode of the show, you hear a story about, was it the episode before last, about me talking to one of my good friends, what is it, it's his brother-in-law, about how ESO is a shit game.
Don't tell the whole story here. We want them to go back and listen to the old episode.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a pretty good story about how I'm an asshole, so...
Which, if you guys don't know, it's episode 30 up on iTunes and Stitcher right now.
Is it 30?
Go check it out.
It's 29. It's 29. We used it as an intro for
is it?
30 or something like that. An intro or an
I think it was
outro
30.
for 30.
I think I cut it this week.
Yeah, no, I think it was last week's episode, dude.
I don't.
Yeah, so send us some stuff to convince us to play your
know.
game. Thanks.
Anyway, go watch 29 and 30. How
there
about
you
that?
go.
There you
Both up on iTunes
Well,
and
just to be
Stitcher,
sure.
I
and
guarantee
quite
I said
possibly the
something.
Google Play
and-
Store soon, eventually.
I guarantee I said
Yes.
something funny somewhere in between the two of those episodes.
You're
You
at
just
least
gotta
a
find it.
6.
You gotta listen through all of Norgoz's bullshit to find one gem of Damien funny joke.
Like that one right there. All right. Yeah. And I think that's a good place to leave off. So,
Agree.
thank you guys for joining this week for the Heroes Hideout Gaming Podcast. And like we said, go listen or watch on YouTube the previous episodes.
Like and subscribe.
One of the nice parts about the YouTube, is you can start
Follow us
from
on Twitter.
episode 1 all the way to episode 31. Oh, man.
You can see the progression of beards as you go.
You can. It's going to be great.
In one of those
So-
episodes, my cat crashes a chair.
It did. And
I remember that.
Actually,
It
I
was
think
good.
that's still a highlight up on the Twitch, which you should check out the Twitch too. Twitch.tv/Heroes Hideout.
This is the whole reason I don't like watching YouTube. People
Yep.
spend 30 to 60 seconds fucking promoting themselves. I'm
You
gonna go jerk off.
gotta say
Hey,
where you're at.
Highsight's
bitch.
not here to
That's
promote
what you gotta
himself,
do.
so we gotta promote
People don't
ourselves
know.
this time.
People don't know, man.
You
Which
can also
all of that will
listen to
be
my-
linked down in the description below, including everybody's Twitters, YouTubes, and everything in case you liked one particular person on the podcast. So if you
If not
thought
the rest.
Phyrus was
and you
great,
didn't like anybody else.
Yeah.
You just liked one of us.
if you fucking
Cage guy, he's
hated
pretty
Norgoz
funny.
and you want to tweet at him that he's a piece of shit, man, you can do that. It's linked down in the description.
He'll tell you shitty jokes.
He will.
Funny joke.
Oh, all right. And I think it's time for us to get out of here. But thank you guys for joining. We will see you guys again next week. Hopefully.
We're getting close to Christmas
Hopefully.
here, so
Oh wait, no, yeah, we are getting
What's next
close to
week?
Christmas. What is next week?
next week is the
Yeah,
19th.
The 19th.
So-
Be on the lookout for
Might
us
be good.
playing our Secret Satan
Mm.
games.
The
Yes.
19th,
Oh
yeah.
god, I don't want to
Did
be
we-
part of
We
that.
haven't,
Alright,
we, haven't
so-
we haven't explained that yet.
We
Yeah, I want-
have
Did we not?
we have
Did
a
we?
goal.
So-
Did we?
We'll talk about that after we get out. Just let me finish this and then
Okay.
we'll go over it.
Watch for our YouTube.
Uh,
We'll announce
but-
it on that.
Watch our YouTube and whatnot, and we will be announcing that and playing those fucking games. But yeah, so let's get out of here. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good
Goodbye.
day, night, or whatever the hell it is in your region.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye. I had to do it because Highsight usually does that, but he wasn't here, so
Highsight usually does do that, actually.
he does.
Oh boy.
Professor